Hi there, guys. Welcome back to TDM. I am your host, Noah Frank. I am the owner-operator of the Driver's Market, and today I am finally bringing you the product that I have been working on for the last year. To preface, this channel was started for two reasons. The first reason that it was started is so that I could show my progression in building out these four-wheel drive vehicles, and actually all vehicles, with you guys, because I wanted you to know that I was a part of the community. The second reason that this channel was started is because I had an idea for a product that did not exist yet, and I needed a community to show the product so that way they could help me bring the product to market. And I'm hoping you guys can help me with that now by sharing this video, because I think this is going to be really cool for a lot of you that have some of these older and or used vehicles that are out there in the market and you want to keep them running to the best of their abilities. What I have behind me is a 1992 Toyota 4Runner. It is a four-wheel drive with automatic front hubs. It is being plagued by a problem right now that I aim to solve. That problem is 90s Japanese vacuum lines. Nobody's ever been working on a 90s Japanese vehicle and said, I wish there was more electronics and vacuum lines under the hood. So today, I'm here to make those people's dream come true, and mine too. What I'm showing you is the first product that I've designed, and it is called the ImportLock. For anybody in the past who knows of PosiLock, you know Jeep, Dodge, Ford, and Chevy guys, you should be aware of how this product works. This is a mechanical actuator that exists for split shaft front differentials, either in the solid axle or in IFS, and what it does is it allows you to mechanically actuate your front differential. Now, this is not the same as locking your front differential. This just locks your hubs to your axles. For those of you who have manual hubs, when you turn your manual hubs in, when you lock your hubs, what you are doing is you are locking your hubs to your axles. For vehicles that have automatic hubs, your hubs are always locked to your CVs or your split shaft axles. And what you do when you shift your transfer case is two things simultaneously. For Toyota guys, this is called a J-shift. When you J-shift, when you shift from 2 high into 4 high, you mechanically shift your transfer case into four-wheel drive, meaning that your front axle spins. But another thing happens simultaneously. A button, an electric signal, is sent from a button inside of your transfer case to a vacuum switching valve in your engine bay, and that vacuum switching valve goes from the two-wheel drive to the four-wheel drive, and it actuates an airbox on your front differential to move a shift fork 12 millimeters. I'd like to repeat that. Your four-wheel drive and two-wheel drive difference on a Toyota is a matter of 12 millimeters, and I can prove that for you now. This is a split shaft front differential. This is the kind that's in my in my 92 4Runner, and it's either in a pickup or a T100 as well. They all use the same kind. 4Runners and Tacomas use another version of this where the actuator is on the back, but luckily for me, this one's on the front. It's easier for me to show you how it works. I can verify right now that you are in two-wheel drive. 12 millimeters, that's all it takes. Now you're in four-wheel drive. Again, that is the only difference between two and four-wheel drive, is this sliding collar inside of here connecting the two split shafts. That's why they call it the split shaft differential. Toyota created a way to shift this using an airbox. On the older models, it is a two-piece. So from 86 till now, Toyota uses these airboxes. On some of these older models, it's a two-piece airbox. On like the Tundras and the Sequoias, it's a single-piece airbox. What we've done is we've developed a mechanical system with a safety spring that is essential to the functionality of this system that PosiLock does not have. We have designed this, and it is patent pending as a safety device. And the reason that it is patent pending as a safety device is because currently that includes the PosiLock variants, the airbox variants, and if you have an electric variant, there is no way for you to return to two-wheel drive or four-wheel drive. If your vacuum switching valve fails, if you have a bad ground in any of your electrical components, if you have a bad ground in your transfer case, if something happens to your current shift mechanism, you do not know what gear you're in, and there's no way for you to tell. What we've designed is a mechanical shifter with a two-wheel drive safety spring that if all else fails, you can return to four-wheel drive. So I'd like to show you the progression of how it started and where we are now. This was the first version. This version used too much of our own hardware and would be too hard to produce, so we scrapped it. We went to a version that was a little beefier, a little more material safe but it did not allow for a specific type of gasket that I wanted to use. So we then moved on to what I'm calling SB2. SB2 was a chunkier version that was not large enough for the sliding rail that we're using, but it is getting closer to the shape that I wanted. And then when we move on to SB2V2, this is when we moved on to a larger shifter, a stainless steel shifter, which is currently inside of this housing down here. And we moved towards the gaskets that I actually wanted to use with more of the Toyota factory parts. This was SB2V3. This is the closest that we have 3D modeled to what I'm able to show you today. And that is a 3D modeled shift rod and the housing itself. Now, this housing is designed in a very specific way with a flange on the front. And the way that you use this is you would slide the double gasketed rod into the housing. It has a slot drilled in the top, and that allows you to screw in what we're calling the control bolt. And the control bolt will link mechanically the shifter from the outside to the inside. The two gaskets here, the first gasket, it will keep your differential fluid hopefully inside your differential. The second gasket keeps all of the dust and debris out of the mechanism. So when utilizing these two in conjunction with a gasket that's going to be on the housing itself, you have yourself a sealed unit that if one of the gaskets fails, you still have two others to protect the integrity of the unit. We also, with this one, moved on to much more factory Toyota parts. So we're using factory mounting hardware, we are using the factory shift fork, we're using the factory, you're not using the mounting for the shift fork, but we're retaining a lot of the factory components, including the factory four-wheel drive switch. What we have here is the most recent mechanism, and I have a good demonstration of how this works. However, the spring has been fighting me all day. So I'll have to show you it without the safety return spring, which I realize is the point, but cut me some slack here. This front housing is all factory Toyota. This is your factory Toyota two-wheel drive to four-wheel drive light. This is your factory Toyota shift fork. This is your factory Toyota control box. And what we've done is we've removed the air box and added in a mechanical box. Now, in the future, this rope won't be a rope, it will be a throttle cable. And we have a couple of designs of how we're gonna mount those. Nothing with drilling. So when you install this throttle cable into your cab, nowhere will you have to drill. We're gonna be able to run it through the opening that your shifters already use. But essentially, this is how the product works. You're in two-wheel drive right now, and then I can shift you over into four-wheel drive. Now that clicking that you heard was the stainless steel shift rod actuating the four-wheel drive light as it shifted you into four-wheel drive. That is the difference between two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive on these vehicles. Now, usually what would happen is when I release tension here, the spring would return you to two-wheel drive. However, again, the spring that I have right now is not working with me. The way that this product works, and the reason that it works so effectively, is because when it fails, and all things that move eventually stop moving, we've built in a fail-safe. So if you are driving in four-wheel drive like this, and let's say that your throttle cable breaks away from its position, something happens in the cab, you break the tensioner for the throttle cable, however that works, the spring return you to two-wheel drive. Let's say you're in a bad spot, particularly a spot with mud, sand, or snow, and you need four-wheel drive to get out of wherever you're at. What you can do is you can remove the captured bolt that holds the spring on from the rear. You can remove it. You can manually shift yourself up and into four-wheel drive, and then you can drive the pin back through, locking you in four-wheel drive. This is how you get home, folks. This is why this product is a safety product, is because this allows you to get home even if it has catastrophic failure. Now, I'd like to show you how simple this is to install, because what we've done is retain 90% of the Toyota parts. All that we would do is we would shift this back into the two-wheel drive position. I would make sure that my sliding collar is in the two-wheel drive position, and then you align this up, make sure that it's nice and smooth going on to the shift collar. And that's it, folks. That is how big it will be on your differential. and it is out of the way. Most of the time, this is going to be under a skid plate. Like I said, on the older models of the pickups and 4Runners, this is in the front. On the T100, it's in the front. On the newer models of the Tacomas and 4Runners, it is in the back, but it's the same housing. So this product has a lot of versatility. This will work on all Toyotas that use an airbox, which is essentially all four-wheel drive Toyotas. It will work on the Land Cruisers. I know a lot of you drive Land Cruisers. The 80 series does use an airbox as far as I know for the models that don't have manual hubs. This will work on any split shaft front differential. So that means Mercedes Sprinter vans. That means any of you Nissan D21 folks or you Xterra folks. It'll work on the Pathfinders. It will work on split shaft Suzuki Samurais. I know there aren't a whole lot of those, but it will work on those. And what this product does is it keeps used and or older vehicles on the road longer. It gives you control of your front differential, it removes vacuum lines, and it removes unwanted electric components. One of the things that I'm personally proud of with this is it lets me be a part of the community in a way that I did not previously have access to. I was highly motivated by the guys over at Northwest Fabworks, and I was highly motivated by Marlon Crawler in order to kind of dip my hand into the space, into the creation space, because so far I've just been a user. And I'm really happy to share this product with you guys today, but manufacturing is expensive and prototyping is expensive, and this is all on my own pocket. I have not turned any sort of revenue. I guess I should say, for starters, I'm an accountant. I am not a machinist, and I am definitely not a mechanical engineer. And I have been able to stay afloat because I am very frugal, but I also need your support now more than ever. I'm looking for several things from you guys. This is my call to action. Please like, please comment, please share this video. Your comments do two things. One, they boost the algorithm, and two is they tell me what design changes you're looking for, if there's anything that I'm forgetting, if any of you want to be brand ambassadors. You can follow me personally building out this 92 on my other channel, accountant_mechanic, and otherwise you can find me in the comments and in other videos. I need your guys' support on this. I need to know if you like this product. I need to know if you want this product. There's no market for this right now. It doesn't exist yet. So there's no way for me to gauge how many of these I need to make in a trial run. But I know by the end of 23, I should have the new model fully machined out of aluminum, much like the SB2 V3, and it will be much more streamlined for production. For those of you who are in the production space, it obviously was 3D modeled, that's how I 3D printed it, but it is being tool pathed for a 4-axis CNC machine right now. And I am hoping to have it set up where we can get hardware vendors by Q1 of 2024. So please stay tuned for future videos. Like I said, please share this video, please like and comment. Hopefully the audio wasn't too crunchy. We are in my garage right now because that is my only workspace, but I'm very happy to share this with you all today. It has been a long time coming. Getting the patent pending status was huge, and getting the product to work on a differential obviously was huge. So if you are in the space and you do know of some hardware manufacturers that would be able to sell us some things in bulk, retaining pins, springs, clevis, if you have any of those things that you have access to, please let me know. Again, I super appreciate all of you that have stuck around since the beginning. Your continued support means so much to me, and it's the reason that I've been able to keep designing things like this. So don't let this be a one-off. Don't let me be the only one who gets to reap this benefit. Any of you guys that have these older rigs, let's keep them on the road. Let's keep them going for as long as we can, and let's do it safely. So thanks again. I will be updating with more photos in the community tab. I will be updating with more videos where I go more in depth in how the shift mechanism works. And I will be showing you guys the progression as I move forward, because we're so close to the end. So thank you again. I really appreciate it. And like I said, I'll see you guys in the comments.
Oh, you're gonna hate me.
What?
You need to demonstrate it on the differential.
I was just showing the installation.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Thank God.
I'm going to leave that in. I'm leaving that in. I hope I got your audio.